Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. For those of you who are new here, hi, welcome. I know it's been a really long time since I filmed. If you've been keeping up with me on my Instagram or even saw my gender reveal recently, I am pregnant. I'm currently 21 weeks, almost 22 weeks pregnant, and we are having a go watch the gender reveal if you missed it, so you can find out what we are having. First trimester really kicked my butt. I was really tired. I have been back to working full time, so by the time I get home I'm exhausted. I also have a 3-year-old. It's just been hard. I feel like I never really have very easy pregnancies. I've been missing filming. I've been wanting to film. I have tried to film. It just never really works out very great. Today I have some new things to try. One is from Merit Beauty, which they are actually sold at Sephora. They sent me a few items over for me to try, so we're going to be testing some of this out, but I'm excited to see what it is. It definitely seems more of like makeup for people who like to look more natural because they have very natural colors, easy makeup, stuff that you would want for like a day that you're getting ready really quick to go to work or something like that. So we're going to test it out. But aside from the Merit Beauty things, we are also testing out the new Huda Beauty Rose Quartz, which I guess is not really testing out. I've used it before, but I really wanted to do kind of an overview on what I thought about this palette so far. So I guess we can start. So this one is called the Minimalist Complexion Stick, and it does have really interesting packaging. It says it's not a foundation or a concealer, it's both. Only use it where you need it, so you get compliments on your skin, not your makeup. For this, it would almost be kind of like a touch-up stick, almost like what some people use concealer for, just for certain areas on their face. Here it is. You get 0.13 ounces. The packaging, it's really tiny. This is why I feel like it might be better for like concealer, but it does say it's more like touch-ups. It's not necessarily to put all over your face. So if I need more foundation after this, we will put more on, but this is in the shade Dune. I have no idea if it's gonna match me or not, but it's very tiny, which I feel like would be really great for small areas, and you just twist it up. So we'll see how this works. I have a feeling this is gonna be too light for me. This was like me at my lightest too, because I haven't been outside that much. I'm a little scared. I don't have anything on my face other than what do I have on my face? What's on my face right now? Right this very second. I have that blemish, but I think it's just really to try and conceal like red areas, which is like practically my whole face. That could take the whole stick. I feel like this would be great if you literally are someone who has like pretty much perfect skin, but you just need a little bit here and there. But I personally like to have products that I wear all over my skin. Let's see what happens when we blend this out with a brush. It actually doesn't look too bad. I do think that it is too light for me though. It feels like it goes powdery almost. I don't feel like it gave really full coverage. I feel like it covered up the redness from that temple spot. All right, I'd say maybe light to medium. You probably could build this, but I don't know that you do want to build this type of formula, honestly. It's blending really nicely though, I will say. You probably could just use your fingers. Formula is not bad. This is just not a product that I would reach. I mean, I would reach for it as like some extra concealer. I would definitely need to go over like so many more areas. Like as you can see, I have so much redness. This would be something I would maybe pair with one of those neutralizing type of primers that have been very popular lately. They're usually kind of green and they neutralize your entire face. I feel like if I used one of those too, then it might be a good product, but it does look very natural. It's not, sometimes when I use a cream stick, I feel like it gets really clumpy in the creases under my eyes, but I don't feel like that's really happening. But I do feel like it looks a little bit dry, but I do have dry skin. I do have dry skin, so that could be why. So I'm actually going to put foundation on now because I feel like I'm gonna need it, but also we are going places later, so I just would like a little more foundation. I feel like this color is okay for me for a concealer, but if I put it all over my face, I think I could make it work with like bronzer and blush and whatnot, but I do feel like I probably needed to go down like 1 or 2 shades. Again, that was in the shade Dune, but I feel like this would almost be a really good product to fit right under your brow to clean it up. I think it would be really good for that, but let's move on. Not a bad product, really creamy, very light. light to medium coverage, perfect for if you want to look like you have no makeup on. But I also thought maybe it would be nice to go back in to like highlight certain areas like your nose after you finish, or cleaning up your contour. I think that might be also another way to use this product, but it's just not something that I probably would go back and purchase with my own money because it's just not the type of product that I personally look for. But if you're someone who likes very minimal lip makeup, you would probably very much enjoy this. My lips really need moisture right now, so we're going to jump into, this is called Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil, and mine is in the shade Pink Beat. And the packaging looks very luxurious, like it looks high-end with the gold cap. It is very pretty. Let's see what the applicator looks like. It's very small doe foot applicator. There is no scent. It honestly looks a little thicker, but it does look like an oil. It has that shine. I think for the winter this seems like it's gonna feel so good on the lips. So oh, that's pretty. That feels really nice on the lips. This is something I would reach for just out of my purse. It's just a very natural color, just hydrates, gives your lips back a little bit of color without looking unnatural, and it just feels really great. Something, I don't know if you guys have ever used lip oils before, but they usually don't have much background pigment. I feel like this actually has a pretty good pigment to it. My lips have lost a lot of color over the years, I feel like, so this really just almost brings them back to like just looking healthy and just giving them a really natural color like my lips should have. So I really like this. It feels really nice. Also with lip oils, sometimes if it does have pigment, it's like almost too oily and the color doesn't stay very well. I haven't tried the new ColourPop ones though, so those might be pretty good. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know down below. This is really nice if you are looking for a nice lip oil with a really nice tint to it. Merit Beauty. This one is a good one. It feels very nice. It looks very nice. The pigment's very even. It's not like streaky, which can happen sometimes. So this I actually really like. Something else they have sent me is this. This is their highlighter and it is called the Day Glow Highlighting Balm, and this is like a cream highlight. This is in the shade Kava. I think it's the lightest one they have. This is what the packaging looks like. It's just like this really big white tube, and then it has the little emblem on top. Again, this is in Kava, and the highlighting balm itself is just like this big chunky stick. I don't mind this type of formula whatsoever, or like type of highlighter contraption. Let's swatch it there. So it is pretty sheer. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a very sheer formula. Like it doesn't have a lot of, it's not like an intense in your face highlighter. It's almost just like very dewy. It does feel pretty greasy, but if you can tell now, my hand looks healthier. Like it added like shine, but like a dewy good shine. Like now I have healthy skin. So I don't know what this is gonna do on the cheeks, what it's gonna look like. I'm excited to see it though. I have no problems with just like kind of a dewy look. I do wonder if you powdered all over, if it would lift up the makeup. I only put blush on. I did not put powder over my foundation because I have really dry skin, so I don't really know how to go about this. I don't really want to put it straight on because I feel like it's gonna lift up makeup regardless, but it does just feel so slick. It's like very slippery. It's a little bit oily, not gonna lie. Okay, when I tap that on with my finger, I definitely see more of that shimmer coming through right now. What? Okay. So that is a very nice, okay, this is really pretty. The only concern I have is how long would it really last throughout the day? Would it make my makeup slip and stuff? But it's very pretty. Like straight on you can't really see it. Just makes your skin look very healthy. So again, I feel like you have to really like and know how to work with these types of products just because it's not for everybody. But using your fingers I think would be your best bet with this. I like to add some dew right in this area. See the difference compared to that side? So it just makes it look like I have a natural glow. This is definitely more natural. Like it just makes your foundation look more like skin-like. That is pretty. That is pretty. I don't hate it. I would say I love it, but I don't know how it lasts, so I can't really say that yet. But it is like, it's really pretty. It's a really beautiful glow. It's Very beautiful natural glow. I wonder if it dries down at all or if it's gonna like stay tacky, because right now it's still tacky on this side, but I really like the way it looks. But this is a product I'd have to test out more to see if it disrupts makeup underneath. If it doesn't, this is a good, it's nice. I would recommend this for if you like natural glow. Even if you don't like have any other makeup on, it would just like give dew to your cheeks. This is nice. I like this. It doesn't give much shimmer to it. Like you're not really gonna see those little shimmers that you can kind of see in the stick. It really just glows. Like my skin looks very hydrated now. I will have to test this out more to see if it's something that I really like using every day. But right now I really like the way it looks. It's really pretty. The last thing they sent me is a mascara, and this is called Minimalist Beauty. It says your go-to mascara for every day. It tints, lengthens, lifts with no smudging ever. Interesting. I usually can only wear waterproof because my eyes leak a lot. So again, gold cap and then black packaging. Looks very luxurious. I think we're gonna put the eyeshadow palette on first, but here's what the brush looks like. I feel like it looks like a pretty standard brush. It doesn't, nothing jumps out at me like this looks so unique. So we will test that out after we put some eyeshadows on. Moving on to the palette. This is the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty. As you can tell, the packaging is stunning. I wasn't planning on picking this up. I thought it looked a lot like New Nudes when I saw the photo. I ended up seeing people's swatches. I fell in love. Everyone was raving about it, like everybody, and I definitely was kind of having a FOMO moment, fear of missing out on owning this palette. I don't buy Huda Beauty too much. I had some issues with their quads. It kept coming broken from Sephora when I got them. It's not that I don't ever like am interested in her stuff. I'm always kind of worried it's gonna come broken. This fortunately did not, but I do have the New Nudes. I also have done a review on it as well, and they both are kind of like blush tone mauve-y color stories, but they are different. There they are. I feel like the New Nudes has more warm tones, and this is definitely more grayish mauve-y, cool tones, taupees, and these are more blush pinky shades. There are a couple of mattes that look somewhat similar. Some of the shimmers in pan look like they'd be similar. I would say one of the biggest differences between these shimmers is this is like your more mauve-y tones with a pow, like it has more uniqueness. A lot of the shimmers in this palette have really cool shifts in them, whereas this one are kind of like, we've probably seen these shimmers at some point. Like there's nothing too crazy unique about them. They're beautiful, they're pigmented. I have no complaints about them, but this one is definitely more unique than this one. Alter Ego also has come out with a dupe of this palette. I did a review on that one and I liked that palette too. The shimmers I think were even more intense than the Alter Ego one. I do have a code with Alter Ego if you're interested in the dupe for this. I believe it's just glitter. Thank you for those of you who use my code. Now we do get commission. Before it just gave you 10% off and we weren't receiving commission. But now they've changed it so that we are. So that is nice and helpful to my channel. So if you use my code, thank you in advance. But go check out Alter Ego if you're looking for a good dupe of the Huda Beauty New Nudes. This one also has pressed glitters and the new one does not. So packaging, like A+, it's gorgeous. When I look at like Rose Quartz, I don't really necessarily think of this type of color story. But I'm glad they did it more like this because there are deeper tones, which I think are very important. I have swatches on my Instagram, which is For the Love of Glitter, if you want to go check those out. She had also come out with a highlighter version that went like viral on TikTok. It did look really pretty. Almost kind of reminds me of what this looks like, honestly, on my skin. Like very dewy with a little bit of shine. It feels slightly less tacky now. I just had to test that out. But this one, it's almost like Vaseline mixed with pigments, like pearly pigment. It's almost honestly like the highlighter I just showed you guys. There's not a lot of really shimmer to it. It's just more like giving you that gleam and glow-ness like this, but with a little bit of pink sparkle in it. So that shade I honestly had thought about just testing as a highlighter, so that might be what I try as. But some of these shimmers, this first shimmer here is pretty much, honestly, it's not the best shimmer in the world, the quartz one, because it's just, there's nothing wrong with it, but do you see how lackluster that is? Like, come on, Huda, what is that? Like when you show me that you can do all these wonderful, amazing things with shimmers and then you give me that, I'm a little disappointed. But the rest of them are pretty amazing. Like you have some legit duochromes, maybe even almost a multi-chrome. Do you see this one? This one's called Cosmic Love. Hey, hi, how you doing? So stinking pretty. Talk about how mainstream brands are not like indie makeup brands, but I feel like this palette does have a few very comparable type of shades in it to some indie makeup brands that have the beautiful shifty shades. There's this duochrome called Moon Magic, and I haven't really swatched this one yet because I was on the third row for Instagram, but this one I feel like it's not showing up as pink as it is in the monitor. It's a little bit more pinky shifty, but holy intensity. These are stunning. They're super shiny, super intense. There's like a shimmer in here that's just like a metallic shimmer, but the color is just so pretty. It's just so intense. This one's called Energize. The mattes are fine too, but I feel like the star of the show are the shimmers. The mattes, they perform well. I have no issues, but this one's just this beautiful taupe, super intense metallic shade. Just can't get enough. I love it. I've basically been using this palette almost every day. And then the other duochrome is called Blissful. I feel like you see this a lot in indie makeup brands, like this type of shade, but I mean, seriously, it really is like up there with indie makeup brands, these shimmers. Specifically the ones that I have swatched, they're just very, very good. This pink one is pretty. Every time I see somebody use it in like swatches or on their channel, it looks very lackluster, but it is a little bit more toppery. Kind of need to try it wet, probably. It looks lackluster because there's not like a lot of Pow pink pigment, but I wish it was a little bit shinier. I mean, because these are just Pow. But overall, oh my gosh. So we're going to be using this palette. I'm just going to shut up and use it now. I don't think I'm even going to bother priming my eyes just because I feel like I put that foundation stick already on there. So we're gonna just see what happens. If you guys ever want to see more looks with this palette too, I definitely can do that. I don't think I'm gonna do anything like, I don't know how much I'm gonna really play with the purples today. They're really good, they're amazing, they're transforming, but I think I want to do a little bit more of like neutral look because you know I'm super fun like that. So I think we're gonna start off with the shade, I think we're gonna go into the most neutral boring shade. So this one right here is called Gratitude. Oh, that stick is starting to crease on my eye, on where I put it on my eyelid. So maybe I should have put primer. So this is just like a nice matte. I don't have anything else to say. It blends out well. I could definitely make it darker if I wanted to, but I don't want to make it darker. There's no issues here. There's also not a lot of fallout too. You don't really have to tap much off. Honestly, kind of the perfect consistency. Now I am building up just because I started building the other one up from the get-go right away by accident. Put more on my brush than I did in the first one. That's fine. I'm gonna go under the eye. I feel like under my eyes look better than when I use concealer with that stick that I just used from Merit. To be honest, I think it looks a lot smoother than when I use a regular concealer. I'm gonna go into Cherished under the brow bone, so we can have something under the brow. Then we're gonna go into Aura, which is the more chocolatey brown shade. I've been using these shades like almost every day just for my work. I work at a school, so I usually do try to keep it a little bit more neutral, but that's why I like this palette so much. There's so much neutral going on, but at the same time, it's a little bit more interesting than just browns, especially with all these duochrome finishes in it. Just like takes it to the next level without being too crazy. So I feel like this is the perfect shade to deepen up the shade we already laid down. They just work really well together, which is why I pretty much use those shades together. I'm gonna take some of that shade under the eye. I don't feel like I have to tap too much of the excess off. You can obviously, especially when you're doing it under the eye, you might want to. I feel like I'm going pretty heavy-handed with it, and I don't feel like I'm getting too much fallout. We're gonna go into this really deep shade. It's like a gray plum color, and it's called Mantra right there. I feel like it's like a smoked purple. Super pretty. Okay, so I really do want to use Moon Magic right here. I feel like if you use that wet or with glitter glue, it would be so extreme. We're gonna just put it on my finger and see what happens and keep it more towards the front. So in this light, it looks very blue toned on my finger. When I look at it in the light, it's pink toned. So this is like pink to blue. It's just really pretty and it's very intense. I didn't mean to go that far. this is what I mean, is like you still have like pretty wearable colors on your eyes, but then you have like this really neat duochrome on your eyelid that makes it fun and not just a boring. I have to fix that baby up, but that's okay. Put some Mantra underneath the really deep dark plum shade. I was gonna use Energize because it's been like my favorite to go to, just super intense metallic. I think we're gonna use Abundance just because it does lean a little more purpley tone, and since we already have that duochrome on there that looks almost purpley, we're gonna go in with this. This palette is so fun, I love it. This has been like my everyday palette. You can totally do a regular neutral look with it, but then on days you want to have a little more fun, you can have a little more fun. So it's like the best of both worlds. So I'm gonna go back in Moon Magic and add a little bit to the inner corners, maybe even tap it up at the edges just a little bit. Cool thing about Moon Magic is you could put it over like any shadow too to transform it, and it just be really pretty. Let's go ahead and try out the Merit mascara now. This packaging does get all like fingerprinted up. That's, if that stuff bothers you, then you probably wouldn't like that part. So let's go ahead. Okay, I thought it would be like a super thick formula, like almost too much and too wet, but so far it seems pretty good. I feel like when they're like too wet and heavy, it's like too much to go on the eye right away, and then you can't really build up layers. It's pretty pretty. I mean, I don't notice anything crazy. I will say it's nice because it's not clumping. Like I can keep going through it and it's not getting clumpy. So that I know a lot of people appreciate. So I normally like a little bit more like lift because I did already curl my lashes, but I don't think it's a bad mascara. I don't think it'd be one that I personally would repurchase again. There's nothing wrong with it. I like that they say it's smudge proof, but this, I really like them to be able to lift my lashes more, and I don't think this really does it, but it is pretty in the sense that it doesn't clump and you can build it. All right, it's just not life-changing. Let's do the other eye. So here it is, the difference. One more time. If you like a drier, lighter formula, I think you would like this. I don't know why I expected it to be more wet and heavy. Sometimes I feel like higher end mascaras are that way though. Like the ones that I've tried, they're always like really wet. And I don't like really wet formulas just because it just pulls my lashes down completely. I feel like this side is having better luck with length. Not bad, not life-changing. Tell me what you guys think. Right, let's quickly review all of this stuff. The Merit foundation, I would not buy this. It did look pretty nice underneath my eyes, but I just personally wouldn't use this type of application for foundation. That's honestly probably my only reason why I wouldn't buy it. This lip gloss, this lip oil, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's so nice. I really like this. I think this is a very nice lip oil. The Merit Glow, what is called highlighting balm. I do like this. I think it's beautiful for natural glow. I can't wait to test it out more. I'm very excited to use this more. So I would say I would say this would be like at least like an 8 out of a 10 just because I still have to test out the waters a little bit more. The mascara, honestly, it didn't blow my socks off. It wasn't terrible. It was probably better than it wasn't good, if that makes sense. I would say it was probably like a 7 out of a 10, just not, it's just, I've tried some better mascaras from the drugstore. The palette, for me, it's probably honestly a 10 out of 10. I love that I bought this. I plan on using this a lot. It's completely up my alley, having the mix of neutrals and duochromes. That's honestly like what I like to do daily is neutral, but I like to have something just a little bit different, and the duochromes really do that for you, so it's not just a regular boring neutral look. You can also use these as highlighters, some of them, because they are so light. Like the one that we put here, you could have like a really cool highlight going on. So they're just very beautiful, very fun, very versatile. 10 out of 10 recommend this if this is your type of vibe. It is very good quality. So I know we didn't do anything profound with our look today, but I know there's like quite a bit of looks you could do this with this. Like you could do a completely almost like rosy neutral toned and it have no hints of purples and blues in it. Or you can get a little crazy and add a topper or duochrome. If you are struggling with the toppery type shades, I 100% recommend using like a glitter glue first or using your brush wet. That will just help enhance it. Sometimes people struggle with topper duochromes because they're like, there's nothing showing up. Sometimes you just gotta work with it a little bit. So that's my thoughts on everything we tried today. Thank you again, Merit Beauty, for sending over some great stuff for me to try. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.